I'm Jack.
Snacking. I'm Tangie.
Welcome back, everyone. We're Freedom Homestead.
Indeed, we are.
We are, and it's really good to be able to chat with you guys tonight. We will be giving you some updates on how things are going here in a few minutes, but I guess we'll give everybody a few minutes to join us.
Hey,
I know
Mandy.
we've been watching the Stivers Homestead and really enjoying their funny
Oh my
stories
gosh.
about babies and
Zach was
sand
cracking
and
me
eating
up.
pizza.
He's
And
like, I think all of us parents have had a moment where our child was so disgusting, where he
Yeah.
was like, I can't even love you right now.
that was funny. That was
That
funny.
was so funny.
I'm gonna reload this so I can see the chats and see who we got with us.
Burger. Yep. So how is
Look at
everybody? We got an error on our own live.
We got an error on our own live show. Let me refresh again.
Anyway, wow.
I don't know. It's saying that it can't
Well,
play our live.
that's all right. We just need to see the chat anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Hopefully we're live and hopefully you're being able to see everything.
Yeah. So glad to see everyone here. Thank you for being here. Hey, never enough time. Yeah, so thank you all for joining us.
There's Tim Beverly.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim. Wow, it's good to see everybody joining us.
Yeah. Wow, we got a lot of folks here. Hey, Laura.
We can see you fine, so they can see us.
Yep.
I don't
Good
know
deal.
why.
That's all right.
What's going on here? but
That's okay.
I'll keep refreshing every so often and see if we pop up.
Yeah.
New to our channel, there's been so many people that have subscribed to us within the last couple of weeks, and I know it's because so many other channels have mentioned us. And
That means a lot.
We're beyond grateful.
We are.
And of course, again, we're going to get into some of these updates here in just a moment about what we've been going through the last couple of weeks and kind of where we're at now.
And we might do just a quick recap too for people who are new to our story. And we're hoping by sharing our story that two things happen. One, that God gets all the honor and glory for everything that He has done for us in this challenging part of life that we're walking through right now. And also, hopefully it will help somebody out there. We know for a fact that we're not the only ones that this has happened to before. In fact, you ran into somebody that you went to high school with.
Yeah. I'll just mention this real quick. Well, that kind of goes into the story. Go ahead and give them.
Okay.
For people that's new and maybe not know what we're talking about.
Okay. So we moved into our home 3 years ago. Our house was built in 2004.
So many people's coming over from the Stivers. Thank you guys.
Yes, the Stivers are the best.
Yeah.
Anyway, our house was built in 2004. We moved into it 3 years ago. And I only bring that up because there have been some comments about, why didn't you know? Well, it's because we weren't around when it was built. But tomorrow will be 3 weeks ago. We had we had storms moving through the area. We got about 5 inches of rain in a very short period of time. And we woke up to a huge crash, what we thought was a tornado hitting our house, and it turned out that the basement wall that runs along the back of our house blew in. And it was a very terrifying experience, but praise the Lord, we're all okay.
That's the main thing.
The main thing,
we
all
got
walked
out safe.
We all got, even our dogs.
I was actually thrown to the floor when I got out of the bed. The house shifted, and I fell down, and I popped back up and took off running to the kids' rooms. Didn't even think about that till later. That's why I fell when the house shifted. Yeah.
So that's what happened. We have a more detailed video explaining, showing pictures and things like that. But that's just a recap of why you have probably heard our names mentioned. The Homestead community has rallied around us. Our church family, people that we don't know have reached out to us. People offering advice, offering resources, financial gifts, and it has just been a very humbling and uplifting experience, and people keep asking us how we're doing, and it's like, you know, we can't live in our home right now, but God is so good. We can't be sad.
That's true.
We miss our home. We are homesick.
You gotta go this way.
It is stressful at times, but we're just counting our blessings.
Yeah.
It could be so much worse.
That's true. Yeah, we're beyond blessed, even through this. We'll get through it. To give you an update, and I think some people have already mentioned it, our insurance has denied the claim, and which is crazy that just insurance companies don't cover certain things that you would just it's kind of inconceivable. You wouldn't think that that would be the case, but
you keep using that word.
yeah. So the last couple of weeks going through this, we have talked to many people that work for many different insurance companies. And they have all told us the same thing, that their insurance companies would not cover, they just don't cover this. They have exemptions in their policies. It's a clause that most people don't know about.
Right.
We didn't know about it.
Jennifer got me.
What's
Yes,
that?
sir.
Oh, Princess Bride. So yeah, it's that's a huge kind of gut punch to us, but we also know that God is opening doors in other ways and
Yes.
has helped us out, and we'll get through it. We'll get into some updates
Thank
on
you,
like
Tony
plans. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. So that's kind of the bad news. The bad news is no help with the insurance
The
company.
insurance.
That's the bad news. Good news is we still got to move forward and figure out where do we go from here. And a few days ago, we had a structural engineer come out to the house.
One that we hired.
We hired one.
Yes.
They came out to do a site visit. The county building engineer.
Thank you, Moda Love, and I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that name. So the county engineer, structural engineer that we hired, and an angel sent to us. There were some people that responded with the emergency management people in the fire department and stuff, and some of the guys that came out that morning when it happened, they've reached out to us and they said, we were there, we saw what happened, we don't know you guys, but we want to help because one does plumbing, one does concrete, one builds houses as a contractor. So anyway, he met with us. He said, I want to be out there and talk to the engineers. We want to know how we can help and if there's anything we can do to kind of help you guys, without having to pay huge labor costs and stuff. He said, we can do some of this. So, we don't know exactly all yet what's going to be done. We don't know the time frame. We don't know the cost involved. We know it's something major. The house has to be jacked up.
Yeah.
We know certain things that have to be done. The house has to be leveled back up, and then a wall has to be rebuilt, and it has to be rebuilt very solid this time.
Yes.
Very solid. And yes, many people have seen the photos, and they have noticed certain things about
Missing?
the walls, how there was no rebar in it. This house was built many, many years ago. I don't know if it was required way back then. I do know the people that built the house, they have already passed on. So there's no way you can go back and hash up the past. We've just got to move forward.
We got to move forward.
So we just want to make sure that now we're going to level up the house. We're going to try to get that wall built. We've got to address the other walls down there to make sure that they are strengthened, that they are, that water is draining away from the house. A lot of people were still asking, well, how did this happen? Well, yeah, the wall wasn't strengthened the way it should have been. And with that much rain, causing 7-8 feet of earth against a wall to get wet, imagine the amount of pressure and weight. In the middle of that wall evidently just blew out. Well, I know it blew out. You should see our basement.
We were there.
What it threw everywhere.
Thank you, Skipper
It
Key.
was crazy. Thank you so much. So anyway, that's kind of what happened, and we're meeting with people. They're trying to. The structural engineer is doing a report. He said it'd take about a week. When we get that report, then we talk to the county engineer that actually issues, permits and everything. He's already said, I'm waiving the fee. I want to get y'all started. So, I mean, people have really helped us in ways that they're not, they don't have to do that.
Right.
But we're seeing God work in many, many ways, unbelievable ways.
Hey, Aaron and Diana.
Yeah, I'm talking too much. I'm just rambling now. But anyway, we are...
No, I'm the one that talks too much, and I interrupt you constantly. Apparently, some of our trolls that we had commented on our last live.
Many comments, I'll address
So
this
funny.
too. Many comments in our video we did a week or two ago, about 2 weeks ago now. That Homestead tragedy video, it has the actual sound recording at the beginning of the video of the wall breaking.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you so much. If you've not seen that, or if you didn't know what that was, watch that again. That is, our son he likes thunderstorms. He may not like them no more. I don't know.
Yeah, doesn't seem to
It
be
didn't really
fazed.
bother him too much. Kids are so resilient, and again, that's just great. But yeah, he was recording the thunderstorms, but it records the house falling out from underneath. Actually, his bedroom, his room was right over top of that and took the brunt of it. But people commented, water line broke too, and what wasn't smashed downstairs got flooded because by the time the utility company got to the house to turn the water off, there was about a 6 to 8 inches, maybe more.
Right, and that's something else that to address too, because some people were saying, you should know how to turn your water off. Well, we do.
We do. Guess where the shut off is? It's down in the basement. That's the last place we're going.
Right.
Because our basement's falling in around us, and also it broke a gas line, so it was full of gas.
Right.
It was full of gas.
We had to get out.
Full of stuff falling, smashed everywhere. It was insane, but we could not get to the shut-off valve.
Right.
And I did go out to the meter that's out by the road, and when I yanked the top off and looked in it, all I saw was water. Again, we had like 5 inches of rain, and I could not see down in there. I didn't know what to grab. And again, it's lightning all around us. And my hands are this deep in water, and it was just insane.
And it was chaotic, and your brain is going all kinds of crazy.
Yeah, it was just it was crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was that. I couldn't turn the water off. I had to wait for them to do it.
Yeah.
And so, we lost a lot of stuff due to the water damage.
Right. But somebody did ask, is our house salvageable? Yes. We are not losing our house. We can't live in it. It is deemed by the county as unsafe.
Yeah.
They told us that if we go in, we can go in one at a time. We can't move heavy things.
Grandma Prepper, thank you.
Thank you. We just have to be really careful, very mindful of what we're doing. And we are very, very anxious to get home. We're so thankful to have a place to live. It's a house. We don't have to stay with anybody. The kids have their own rooms. I mean, it's just, we're really in the best situation that we can be in. But, Dorothy said it best, there's no place like home. And we miss our little slice of Kentucky country. So, but again, we're okay. Our house is not a total loss. we did lose a lot of things in the basement. But we're, it'll.
Yeah.
The main thing is that we get the house safe and that we can get back in it.
Yeah, Lord willing, it will be a bomb shelter down there.
And I'm growing a tomato plant.
And a lot of people are commenting, why don't you do this
Judy.
and why don't you do that? Well,
Thank you, Rosie. That's
those are
sweet.
great comments, but unless you actually come out and do a site visit and look at the house and the property, some of those things aren't doable. We can't move the house to another location.
Right.
We can't really raise it up and completely redo the whole basement because that would be way too expensive, enormously expensive. Plus, we would have to disconnect all the utilities and everything. So it's just there's certain things that, with the insurance not being able to help, we're only going to be able to do so much. But what we are going to do is make sure that it is strong, that it is a strong house. I don't want to put my family back in a house that I feel unsafe in.
Or that we all feel unsafe.
That would put them in danger.
Yeah. Indoor pool. No.
Yeah.
Thank
and of course,
you, Wendy.
if we weren't there, 15, 20 years ago when this house was built, how would we know that?
Well, somebody said that the inspector that inspected it at that time should have seen it. However, the county inspector told us that they cannot find permits for the house.
And that is because it was built on a farm that already had a residence and everything.
Hey, Heidi.
And evidently there's some kind of loophole where if you just want to build a second structure on your farm, a second house, you can do that as a farmhouse back then. So anyway,
we don't know.
We got to move forward.
Right.
And just look at how do we fix
Make it
this
better,
house,
get home,
get back in it, get back to homesteading. Our chickens are still there. We're still going there every day. The chickens are still doing great. I'm glad chickens don't know the power's off and the electric fence isn't working.
They're just doing their thing.
But they're staying where they're supposed to stay, and they're still laying eggs, and we're still we're in a house now. We have a roof over our head that people are letting us use. And
Heidi, they've denied our claim.
We're bringing eggs and passing them around to people around here. So anyway.
And I have picked probably 2 gallons easy of strawberries.
Yeah.
I haven't canned any. All of my canning stuff is back home. I don't know if I have enough jars to can what I've got, but we're just eating fresh strawberries as much as we can. I'll probably can grab my food saver and maybe bring it here and do some vacuum sealing. And and I could also bring my food dehydrator too and dehydrate some strawberries.
Thank you, Four Oaks. Thank you for all the continued prayers and everything. Aaron asked if we want a strawberry pie.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
That would be awesome. We got plenty of strawberries.
We got the strawberries.
You can make plenty of pies. And Aaron, if you know where we live. If you just want to go out there and pick some strawberries, you are more than welcome to go pick strawberries.
Okay, so to go back and answer some questions, somebody asked, why didn't they cover our claim? If you read our policy, which, I'm not an insurance person, but the way I read it compared to what the structural engineer that they hired said, it's not going to be covered. Like, no matter how you look at what caused it.
Thank you, Melanie.
Their wording isn't going to cover it.
And I'll say this: we do have an attorney that is looking at the policy and looking at our claim and reviewing everything
just to see if there's anything that could be done.
But again, we have talked to multiple insurance companies and we've talked to agents that work for different insurances.
Right.
And they all say they would not cover this. They've all had similar situations. And that leads me back to the story. So last night, I went to pick up some supper. And I ran into somebody I went to high school with who builds houses. And I was telling him what happened to our house. And I told him, about 3 weeks ago when those storms rolled through here, one of our basement walls collapsed. first words out of his mouth was,
Hey, Lance. Lance Houck is here.
"Oh, hey, Lance. Lance got married. Congratulations."
Well,
Late. I mean,
congratulations.
it's been a while, but anyway.
Thank you,
So
Terry.
the first words out of his mouth was, "Yeah, you're not the only one that lost a basement wall." He said, "I'm repairing somebody's wall that, you know, it happened to, I guess, multiple people around here. Maybe same builder. But anyway,
Yeah, maybe.
I said, you know, our insurance isn't even going to help." And he goes, "No, theirs aren't either." And you would think that insurance would cover a major damage incident like this. But again, if you start reviewing policies, no matter,
Thank you, Cindy.
I mean, unless you've got additional, like, I don't know what kind of additional insurance would cover it. It wasn't a sinkhole, maybe flood or earthquake or something that deals with ground movement or something. But yeah, basic policies. We've talked to multiple companies and they're all saying no, we wouldn't cover it either. So our agent's been awesome. Our agent has actually,
He really touched our hearts, and you know, we know that insurance companies, the way they are structured, their idea is to take your money and not to give it back when you need it. But good people work in those, and it's, you know, you wonder what, you know, how can you say that? But our insurance agent, he's been really great, just really great.
I guess Rain Country's had issues too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's, you know, we thought, well, definitely we're gonna change insurance companies when this is all over.
They're all the same.
Who would we go to? Because there's not any that's gonna do what this. I mean, we like our agent. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't look like we're gonna have the big garden we planned.
Yeah. Right.
You do have a few little. You got a tomato plant, or is that a pepper plant?
Both.
You got a tomato plant and a pepper plant.
Yes.
In a container here.
We know that FEMA had been contacted, but we need to follow up on that to find out what that was. And we also, I mean, again, one of the things that I love about the Homestead community is how helpful people are. We have been able to, you know, whenever he was telling me about the conversation with the friend that builds houses and he was helping them, and I said, I hope they're getting as much help as we are outside of insurance. But we are so thankful for all of the suggestions and resources that you guys have offered. And one of our friends reached out. They have a son that works, he's also an insurance adjuster, different state, different company, but he said, you know, I would like to take a look, see if there's anything that I can see that might help. But, you know, he pretty much came to the same conclusion that the wording in our policy is ironclad, and no matter how you cut it, it's not going to be covered.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Wilderness survival.
So, but yes, okay, so going back to gardening, glad that Mike is here because they're going to talk about him again.
So that's kind of the that's kind of the downer is insurance companies don't cover stuff like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about some positive things that we can do.
Right.
We're not totally helpless. I mean, again, we can't say enough for the YouTube community, especially this Homestead family. If I start naming channels, Homestead channels that have shouted us out or mentioned us, we will miss a lot of them. But there have been dozens and dozens mention us or send us messages.
Yes.
And then hundreds of you guys that have, you know, all the comments we're getting. We just know that there's a lot of people out there. We believe in the power of prayer.
Yeah.
We know that God is answering prayers. We know that God is opening doors. We know that through this difficult time, we will get through it, and we will be better people for it on the other side.
On the other side of it, yeah. And we really hope that we can pay it forward.
Yes, we've already talked about this. When, you know, Lord willing, we want to be able to be in a position after this is all said and done to where we always have enough money set aside in our savings. So when we know a family's going through something difficult like this,
right,
we want to be able to help them out and send them some of that love, because
it meant so much.
It has meant so much. It's incredible.
It really is. Okay,
But,
so
yeah,
somebody
Mike's
asked.
here. Yeah.
Somebody asked if do we know. We have not been given any estimates yet. We are again waiting on the engineer that we hired. When we get his report, then we can actually start putting plans together. I think his report is not only what he believes caused it, but what, in his opinion, is the best way to go about, you know, starting to secure the house. Which a lot of that discussion was made. But I think once we get that report, then the contractors can start putting together some specs and estimates. We do know that, I mean,
Mike
like,
says, "Hey, Ruger." Hey, Mike.
when it comes to, you know, economically speaking, like, this is the worst time to have to fix your house because, you know, inflation.
Everything's expensive.
Inflation
Everything's
has
going up.
really, made supplies crazy. We also heard talking about machinery having to jack up the house. They were talking about how, you know, there's a lot of companies that are backed up with, you know, renting out their equipment or whatever. So anyway, I'm trying not to focus on that because I can get a little discouraged thinking that it's going to take a lot of time. But yeah, we're just moving forward and just glad to have something in the works.
We can't put links or descriptions on this live video right now, but I guess after our live and after this uploads, we'll add the links that y'all are asking for, the GoFundMe and stuff. We'll add that, but it won't be until after we're done.
And we also got our P.O. box set back up too.
We do. I'm glad we got that back.
Yes, and we were able to get our old P.O. box number. So if you see the P.O. box in any of our old videos, it's the same. We were able to get it back. But yes, we have gotten some cards from some of y'all, and they have just really lifted up our spirit. So thank y'all so much. But anyway, okay, so let's talk about something that I love, and that is gardening. We are in the city, so let me...
We're in the city right now.
Let me take it one piece at a time instead of broad stroking this thing. Okay, so at our homestead, technically I could garden there. However, with construction looming, we don't know where people are going to have to go with dozers and excavators and skid steers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We might have to move some stuff.
Yeah. Because we might lose part of the garden due to that.
Yes. And that means raised beds. That might mean our garden fence. We don't know right now. So I'm just not going to plant anything there. I do have my strawberries. Like I said, I've already harvested easily 2 gallons.
Thank you, Our Tiny Acres. Thank you for doing that. They put their link on their Facebook page.
Well, thank you.
Our link on their Facebook page.
Yes. I also still have, wow, speaking of Rand Paul. Anyway, I also have garlic planted at the homestead. So here I'm just going to do container gardening, and I'm only going to keep it to a few. And so I do have a tomato plant. I got a celebrity tomato plant. I chose that one because the tag said it was determinate. I thought I don't want it to get too big. And then Mike gave me a pepper plant, and Mike, I can't remember which kind it was. It's a bell pepper, but I can't remember the variety. But Mike and Shanna have a ginormous garden. I wonder if they'd let us do a video there to show the greenhouse. Would you let us do a video there, or you just want to put it on your channel? But anyway, they pretty much said, "Me garden as Sue garden."
You scared him off. He's not going. Yeah.
But yeah, they said, you know, we've got plenty. So if we go out there, put a little sweat equity, they might let us harvest some of their
Thank you, everybody.
their deliciousness.
Bro Farms.
It was a red bell. That's right.
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah,
He
still
says
here.
it was a red bell. Yeah.
Yes. So, forgot what kind. I did too. I mean, I could go out there. I haven't planted it yet.
He says we got 50 peppers out.
50 peppers.
Yeah, he's
There's 4 in their household.
he's going huge.
He's
He's
gonna go
going
huge.
crazy at his garden.
We fertilize every 2 weeks. I did put some
may have-
trifecta and some bone meal when I planted it. I do have some, what is it called? Fish emulsion. I do have some of that at the house. I'll have to bring here, except it smells the high.
If we get our big gardening, kind of, we go through our detox because we're not being able to do the gardening. We'll just have to run out to Mike's and start, helping him garden.
That's funny. Boston Rock says they planted garlic for the first time this year. Man, it is so awesome harvesting your own garlic. I mean, it's just, it's so incredible.
Mike says I eat for 3.
He's a goofball.
Yeah, you're still gonna have way too much produce. Yeah.
He told me, I can't remember how many squash plants he said that he started. I was like, oh my word, you're going to have enough squash for the state, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we love growing our own garlic too. And we have some raised beds up at the house right now, and the strawberries are doing awesome. We do have garlic.
I said that.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna have it. And,
some of it's
but that's really all.
Some of it was crushed. And yes, gardening is the best therapy. And you know what's funny? I'll share this with y'all.
I think we only lost maybe one plant, right?
Maybe a couple.
1 or 2.
But I will tell you this: I'm not going to do it, but it is a thought. So there is a where we are currently, there is a homeless population, and someone told us, they said, you could have a garden out here, but you won't have any to harvest because it will get taken.
It'll take it, yeah.
And so at first I thought, oh, well, that's sad. But then I thought, you know what? I'd be okay with that. If I garden knowing this isn't for us.
That they'll come through here and have food.
Yes, but like it's not for us, it's for them. Now, if I was thinking I'm growing this for me and they took it, then yes, I would be upset. But if I thought this is for them.
I'm going to grow these, and as they produce, they can come
yes.
get.
Or even have a sign out there and says, you can take what you want, but, why don't you spend 10 minutes and pull some weeds?
If you want a tomato.
Pull weeds for 10 minutes.
Pick a tomato.
And then fill this bag. I mean, that would be awesome. But I don't know, that might be something we can think about later, but yes, just to be in the garden doing
like
what I
Abraham
love
for the people.
Yep, there you go. Let's see. Could you get a mobile home RV? We actually seriously considered that. But here is why we are not going to do that. We don't think that it costs money, number one, to set up your home, to set it up. And now that we know that we're going to be paying for it, like we're saving.
We're gonna have to watch all of our expenses right now, and that would be a huge expense. Even we've had one person, a cousin, that lives out of state, say they would be willing to let us use their camper.
Right.
We would have to get a vehicle to go get it, but then we got to thinking about all the changeover and cost. And it's just, right now, we would think, do we want to do that or just stay here?
Save our money
and put that money into fixing our house right.
Right.
And I think fixing our house right is going to be number one right now.
Right.
Number one goal is fixing our house right.
Right.
Putting all of our resources into that.
And the other thing too, we thought, well, really the ideal place to put an RV would be right where my raised beds are. To which I said, I would be okay with moving them as long as we don't move the strawberry bed. Because it's like gangbusters right now. But no, we decided that staying here is probably the best thing to do. Although
for the time being.
Although I have to say, I keep going back to that, going, I don't know, because they're,
Yeah, Mike keeps trying to talk me into it. He's like, I can get you the truck. We'll get the hoses and pipes. We wouldn't have internet though. That's the one thing is she's got a full-time job that requires internet, and I don't know how we would get that to work.
Well, it's doable. It's just doing it.
It would cost some money. And
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's P.O. Box 52, Mammoth Cave
42259, and somebody posted it earlier. I think Kathy North Star Prepstetter posted it earlier. Either her or Mandy. Somebody
You've never
did.
eaten my strawberries.
Oh, there it is. Look at it. Mandy's on it. There it is.
Hey!
And that is Correctamungo.
It's my friend Joy. Hey, Joy.
And
thank you, Bulldozer.
yeah, thank you so much.
So I was trying to think if there was anything else new.
I went up there yesterday. I was up there just a couple hours ago. Feels like yesterday. I think this month, I think we've aged about 5 years. I feel like I've aged about 5 years in 30 days.
I don't feel like I've aged.
I do. I just feel like I have aged several years.
But my health has definitely, I can feel it. It's taken a...
So I went up to the house today, and what few items still remain in the basement I was sorting through, and I thought, we have some totes, and I'm thinking, well,
hey, Megan.
The totes got knocked clear, and since they're in totes, the water didn't destroy everything inside of them. So I've left them down there. Well, I started going through them today, and it turns out that when the totes were knocked clear, I guess they did bust, and they had cracks in them, and everything in them. Like, you had a tote with all your sewing stuff,
all of my fabric, all of my, I mean, I used to have a craft business. I had a bunch of fabric.
So that stuff was just,
ruined.
it was mildewed, it was nasty. Then I opened up another tote that had a bunch of my caving stuff in it, caving coveralls,
me and Megan Fox
and firefighting equipment. I got a bunch of firefighting equipment. It was all mildewed and molding, and I'm just like, man.
Yeah.
But we didn't know the totes were cracked.
You know who that is, Miss Allie Wheat.
Oh yeah, yeah. We saw her a couple days ago.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And her sweet family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Megan Fox watches you. Oh, is she talking about the?
She's got the Mennonite. She's the Mennonite mom. Yeah.
Yep.
It was funny because her channel kept popping up in my recommendeds, and then she said that my grocery hauls or something was popping up in hers.
Really?
And so so we started following each other. But yeah, her channel has absolutely exploded because she's awesome.
I still crack up when I think of the time Aaron was over here eating with us, and you took your apron off, and it was an M.I. Gardner shirt, and he goes, "Hey, you watch M.I. Gardner?" And we're like, "Pull up the video from a couple weeks ago," and he pulls him up. We're at M.I. Gardner's house, and he's like, "What, you know him?" I just thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, that's funny. That's one of the cool things about doing YouTube but yeah, it's one of the cool things about doing YouTube and is being in the community and getting to meet people and then making lifelong friendships.
Yes.
It's really awesome.
And even though some of you, we've never met you, we watch you enough and chat with you, and we've made friends, even though sometimes we haven't met most of you. But, and then when we do meet, it's almost like we've known each other for a long time.
I mean, there's a lot of y'all in the chat right now that we've met because of YouTube, and we've met in person.
Yes. Tim Beverly's one of them.
Tim Beverly, Joy, Jennifer, let's see, Carol that just popped up.
Yep.
We've met Kathy in person. I mean, there's just a ton of y'all. Somebody asked if my extended pantry was in the basement. A good majority of it was.
A lot of it was.
I mean, we did have some upstairs, but yeah, I had a lot. I was telling him, I was like, we had I had all that toilet paper, paper towels, flour,
paper
sugar,
products didn't
cocoa.
last.
Oh
Yeah,
no, they got
totally
destroyed.
got destroyed.
But yeah, I mean,
Stringfield Ridge.
baking. I
met
had
at the picnic.
canned goods, home canned, store bought. I mean, I had like a little grocery store downstairs, and a good bit of that.
ASL Harvard
got
Homestead.
destroyed.
Love you guys.
Well, hey, thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you so much. We met
Yes,
Stringfield Ridge.
my butter. I had over a year's supply of butter in my freezer.
Yeah. Lost all the meat in the deep freezer.
I have to tell you, I was really excited about that
500
butter.
years of butter.
Because, for a long time, we lived on a smaller dime than what we live now. And so I remember, so many years whenever Aldi would have these big sales, I was like, man, I wish I could just buy as many as I could while they were on sale. But I mean, I would buy a few here and there, what I could. But then, over the last couple of years, when they would have that butter sale, I would be able to buy the max, like 6 boxes of butter at a time. Mm-hmm. And so I would. And I was so happy with that stash. But you know what? The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away, and He giveth again. So
yeah.
It'll be all right. I will get it again. I just got to get a deep freeze and a basement to put it in.
That's the one thing, when we, when this is put back together.
Amen, Heidi. I believe that with all my heart.
And from Australia, I love watching the videos.
Awesome. We love our Australian
We have
friends.
so many people from Australia comment on our channels and watch us, and it's amazing.
Yes.
It makes me want to go to Australia.
Allie, it's when
have a Homestead meetup.
When Aldi, usually around the holidays, Aldi will run their butter on sale for $1.79 a pound, and then you can get up to 6 boxes. So every time I would go to the store, I'd grab 6 boxes, and then by the time the sale was over, I had like a year's supply. Mm-hmm. And they do it a couple of times throughout the year. It's usually around the holidays. Yes, they are.
Yeah. This may be a blessing in disguise. You're very correct, Mandy. I was gonna say, when we do get the walls and the basement and everything fixed and secured, and so we can start getting back into the house. Then there's lots of secondary issues that we'll have to deal with. Upstairs, cracks in the wall, some doors that need replacing. But then
there's a couple things I'm hoping that we have to do.
But then,
because I didn't like it to begin
with.
But
then we'll have to get a new water heater, deep freezer.
Mm-hmm. I will say this. I love my dishwasher, and I really hope it's okay. It got
I think it will.
I think it'll be okay. It looks like it's kind of wonky right now because whenever the end of the house fell, of course your dishwasher sits under your cabinet. Well, it's on the wall that fell.
Yeah. So the cabinets are raised and the dishwasher's kind of pulled out.
Pushed out.
I think it's okay.
I hope so because that will be a booger to replace. Number one, because we won't have that kind of money for that high quality of a dishwasher.
There's a rack.
And that's just it's a KitchenAid all stainless steel. I didn't even realize what we had until we were moving in, and I was like. And we had brought a couple of dirty dishes over from the house, like some cups and glasses. And so I opened up the dishwasher. I'm like, whoa, this is all stainless steel. And I'm like, what kind of dishwasher is this? And I looked, I'm like, it's a KitchenAid. I was so happy with that dishwasher.
Bluegrass Homestead says, what about a tankless water heater? I mentioned that to you the other day. I said, maybe we should get a tankless water heater.
Yes, and I am all for it.
Again, we're going to have to do our research. We're going to have to find out first cost. When we will know more in another week or two.
Yes.
I hate that it's such a slow process getting everything lined up, getting a plan together, getting the builders lined up, and because I know that in a couple of weeks we will know a whole lot more than we do now with. Mm-hmm. How long is this going to take? Are we going to be out for a couple of months or longer or twice that long? Mm-hmm. Or is it going to cost X number of dollar, or is it going to cost 10X number of dollar?
Right.
So yeah, we don't know right now, but if we can go tankless water heater, we would like to.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. We're taking it day by day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll cross those bridges when we get to them.
If I start thinking about time, we don't have a time frame yet.
No.
But we know it's going to be a while just based on the shortage of supplies and the backup of equipment needed.
Yeah.
But I am trying not to think about it because I will get overwhelmed and it will get to me. So like he said, we're just taking it a day at a time. And I know that when we do get home, it's going to be, I'm not going to get emotional.
Insurance.
It will be a sweet day when we get home. And that day can't come soon enough.
Cozy Crib, it says, why do they need to document? Well, we hired a structural engineer to come out and look at the structure and the engineering of it, to figure out how to repair it. There's going to have to be certain things done. It's one thing to repair pieces of a house, but when you have to repair underneath a house that's already sitting there, you just got to be very careful about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's there to say, here's what needs to be done and here's what you have to account for here, and he's going to do a report. Mm-hmm. and recommend certain things that need to be done.
Thanks, Mike.
And if his report is very similar to the discussion we had, we pretty much know what the report's going to say. We pretty much know at least step 1, step 2, and step 3 as far as I think what we're going to be doing. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of once that report gets done, then the county building inspectors will say, here's the report, here's your plan, y'all start, and we can and there's things I can do in the meantime. I can go out there and dig out the footers and try to see what kind of shape they're in, and keep cleaning stuff up, stuff like that.
The new stove I think is okay, which is good.
I honestly think all the appliances upstairs are fine.
I don't know, that refrigerator was looking a little rough. I think it needs to be replaced, pretty sure. That refrigerator's gonna go.
Man, just see what's happening here.
Really,
I see what's happening. Yeah.
Oh me.
I know. It can be overwhelming, but
that's when we take back and we step back and we look at all that God has done.
Yes, every time that we have had our moments, and I said this in the other videos, every time we've had our emotional breakdown moments, we have very quickly been lifted up. Mm-hmm. By the Lord has sent us amazing friends and family and people that have they've got us, and we feel the love.
Yes, we do.
Feel the love.
Yes, the taking care of the water coming toward the house is number 2. Fixing the wall is number 1. Then fixing the water is number 2, and then stabilizing the rest of the walls.
Yeah.
Because if we don't fix the water situation, no matter what we do to the basement, it's not.
We're definitely going to have all the water draining away from the house. The only problem is it's only going to drain so far, and then it starts backing up towards the house.
Right.
So those are all things we're looking at that we're going to have to address. It just so happens that there's a lot of sinkholes near our area that don't do their sinkhole job for draining water. It seems like we must be in a low spot, because when it rains, they fill up very quickly with water. There's not a lot of ground drainage. Right. And even the livestock, the fields have been used by so much livestock around us for decades, hundreds of years, actually, that it's packed really hard, and so the water just don't want to soak. People have actually asked us, have you considered getting a driller out there and drilling a dry well? If you don't know what a dry well is, that's where about a 4-inch pipe, they might go down a couple of 100 feet or more, and that will help water drain way underground, way out of the way. But again, you have to make sure you're doing that in an area where it will drain, because there have been dry wells sunk down and they just shoot the water up because now you've piped into an aquifer or something like that. So we just have to, there is no place to put a drain pond. We just can't do that. But again, God is sending us people that have done this in other areas to other families that have had situations like this. So again, we're going to just leave that in the Lord's hands and let the experts figure it out for us.
Yes. That is not our wheelhouse.
There's definitely a lot of things that's happened over the last few weeks that has been out of our control.
Yes.
Way out of our control. But God has sent, God's opened doors and just shown us how, He can take control.
Yes.
When it's out of our hands, now it's time to watch Him work.
Right.
And man, you talk about just.
Hey, Sarah.
It's a very humbling moment, but at the same time, your faith gets so much stronger. And I'm not saying I'm strong in the faith. I'm very weak. But
thank y'all.
I really hope that through this, it definitely helps me to get a little bit stronger through this, because I've seen Him working in so many ways.
Yep.
Sorry, I haven't been paying any attention to the comments.
Mr. Rain, which that's Miss Heidi's husband, Patrick, he said a curtain drain and dry well sounds like the thing you need to do. That I've heard both of those words.
We heard French drains, curtain drains.
Yes.
We've heard we have heard of a drain pit with pumps. We've heard dry well. Sump pump. I mean, the engineer didn't like the sump pump idea.
Thank you, Craig. Well, thank you, Bulldozer.
Thank you, Bulldozer. Appreciate it.
The living God richly
I
bless
think he
you and
gave.
keep
I think
you.
he gave last week or the week before too.
Thank you so much. Actually, Donna, I have the refrigerator doors open. A friend of ours at church, was talking about how I had gone in and we were able to, throw everything away.
Yeah.
And he said, "Did you leave the doors open?" I said, "No." And he said, "If you get the chance to go back, open the doors." And so they are open.
Yeah, and I don't smell any funkiness when I go
No.
up there. I think we're good with the fridge.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
We'll see. We'll see.
Let's see. Yes, and I did open the dishwasher, which I have clean dishes in the dishwasher. But one of the deacon at our church that was operating the excavator, I was asking him, I said, do we need to pack, or do we have to empty the house? What do we do? And he said, I don't think you need to empty the house. He said, but the things that are on that wall that are breakable, he said, I would, if you can do it safely and you're comfortable, probably pack those and move them. So I mean, the wall that fell, that's the wall that I have my grandmother's dishes, my dishes. We have pictures on the wall. So things like that, we will try to move those.
And you're talking about, you were hoping the dishwasher didn't break. There's a rack of dishes. That it's, what do you call that?
It's a plate rack.
It's a plate rack.
Y'all seen the videos. Y'all know what we're talking about.
Right above the dishwasher is a
Hey,
plate
Bushcraft
rack
family.
with dishes in it, and they're fine. They didn't break or anything, so I don't think the jolt was enough to damage the appliances, because it didn't crack a dish. As far as I know, it did crack some drywall.
Oh goodness.
But we'll have to see. Our HVAC system did get moved. Let's just say it got relocated
To say the least.
But I had some friends come look at it that have done HVAC work in the past, and they said they actually don't think it was damaged.
We're hoping that's
They
true.
think it can be put back in place, and it's still going to work fine. They looked at everything, everything coming in and out of it, and they said we think it's okay. When we get everything fixed back,
you, Rita.
they say call us when you're getting ready to. We'll help you just put it back in place, and we'll check everything out. And they said it should work fine. So,
Mr. Rain, no, it did not. Our insurance has denied our claim. Melissa, the structural engineer that came out for the insurance company said that it was saturated ground that built up pressure and blew out the basement wall.
like hydrostatic pressure.
Hydrostatic pressure is what they're calling it.
Yeah. And like we said at the beginning, there's no insurance company around here. We could switch to a dozen different insurance companies. None of them say they would cover this.
Right.
In fact, other people we found out have had similar basement wall collapses during the same storm that we did, and the insurance has all denied their claims as well. And they all have different insurances, as far as we know. So.
Right. Yeah. So we're in one sense it's disappointing. It does cause a difficult challenge. However,
yeah, Mr. Rain, you do have PayPal. I don't know what the link is.
I think the mods might be able to share that. Thank you, Mandy.
Yeah.
So what was I saying?
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
Okay.
I interrupted
So
you.
that's okay. So even though like we said, it poses as a challenge, it's good to have an answer, because the not knowing is the hardest part. It's good to have an answer, so now we know how to move forward. But we can also, it's like we've been saying, it's times like these that, God shows, He shows us what He can do. And He has moved people. He is working through people, and He has touched many hearts, and people have just been reaching out, and it's been blowing our minds. But
absolutely.
But somebody asked about our YouTube videos. Have we noticed a difference in our views? And that is a resounding yes.
You guys have been awesome. You guys have been telling us, hey, we're just playing. We're just hitting the play button and letting the playlist play, and
it
we
makes
can
a
tell.
difference.
Our views have shot up.
Yes, our analytics for this month have been insane.
We're not trying to destroy our house to get subscribers.
Trust me, we would rather be home with no subscribers.
I would rather have 500 loyal subscribers and not be dealing with what we're dealing with right now.
Right.
But yeah, you guys have been amazing.
Yes. And so, just so y'all know, playing our videos does make a difference. I know.
Thank you, Shauna.
Thank you, Shauna.
Thank you so much.
I don't mind telling people what it's at.
We are about 120 subscribers away from 50K.
From 50,000.
50,000.
But listen.
When we hit 5,000, we thought, man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I never thought we'd hit
5,000. I remember
5,000.
when I hit 1,000. I remember when I came to the Caver's Wife and I hit 1,000. I was like, who in the world wants to see what I cook and what I buy?
Again,
but I'm glad you're here.
we could be all woe is me and down in the dumps. Man, we're being blessed. I mean, we got amazing friends, amazing community, and we've only got like 2 minutes left, so we're going to be finishing up here in a minute. But 50,000, gosh, 50,000 subscribers.
That's crazy. But what I was going to say was last month, because we had not been putting out videos, we have a few videos that kind of carry us through the months. I don't remember what our deposit was.
Our Joel Salatin video still kind of carries us when we're not able to post videos for a week or two.
Yeah. So it was like $100 and something, I think, is what we got for last month. So the month isn't even over, and we're at $1,754. That is y'all.
A lot of that is
y'all.
because of these super chats too.
It's the super chats. It's y'all playing our videos, and
we've never ever
no
ever
we've never. So
and I know that's another.
It's huge. That is huge.
That's just God helping us out.
Yeah.
You know,
through y'all.
He's allowing us to get our house put back together through you guys.
Yes. So if you people who said, you know, we don't, you know, I can't help, but I'm playing your videos. It's helping. It's really, really helping, and it just blows us away. Absolutely blows us away.
Thank you so much, and the moderators, you guys are simply wonderful.
Yes, you are. You guys are the best.
You guys are awesome, and give us a little while after we finish this video, and we'll try to put the details in. It has to load up, and then we can go back and edit it and then add those links. But
we're at 9:01, but I do want to say this too. We are hoping to design some T-shirts. And we're also going to use, you know, I told him, I said, if we design T-shirts, at least people will have something to show for helping us.
We would love to be, so many have said, what about some sort of fundraiser? So we've been talking about that, maybe just doing a T-shirt.
Yeah, we do have our logo shirt available through Bonfire, which on our channel, if you're on a computer and you look at the banner of our channel, there's it's like a little orange box with looks like a little flower in it. That's the Bonfire. But we are going to try to figure out some
I think we want to just do something plain with Freedom Homestead, and then your motto.
We're not graphic designers by any means.
Yeah, her motto, where she always says, "Be vigilant, be prayerful, and be prepared." And I thought that would be great for a shirt going through what we're going through.
True. True.
But unless it's just a big shirt that says God is good. But
all the time. But that, I don't know. To me, when I hear God is good all the time, I always hear Rain Country in my head.
Yeah.
I hear it in her voice. God is good all the time.
Oh, Matthew says we're at 49.9.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so we're going to hit it soon. T-shirts would be cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Cindy found us watching our grocery hauls.
Thank you very much. All right, well, we don't want to keep you guys any longer.
Yeah, we do have to go.
Thank y'all so much. God bless all of y'all. And until next time,
we'll continue to keep you updated.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Oh, yeah. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, because we update there as well. Anyway.
Build back better.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Until next time, remember to be vigilant, be prayerful, and be prepared. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Heidi.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Heidi.
That's Mr. and Mrs. Rain. Thank y'all.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
God bless. We'll keep you updated. And, yeah.
All right.
See ya.
Bye, guys.